everybody, like seeing some certain people leaving the lineage, but if they leaving because of I can understand if they leaving because of the broken virtues and stuff. So yes, yeah, there's nothing we can do about such a. I mean, the virtues and the rules are rules, so there's nothing we can do about such. Nothing we can do because according to the explanation that Sir John has explained, it was because of the lack of virtues. So that one is understandable, but I read that message. Apparently they were expelled. So yeah. Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Back to you.
Um, okay, about your app saying that you got banned. Um, you know what? They also tried that, and it was like a customer trying to be cheap, and that customer was like a complaint or something just because they don't want to pay. So yeah, it's like customer being nasty, and it's like nothing to do with him. So he reported back and explained and everything, and the company actually revived the account. So it's not always your problem. Sometimes it's actually the customer's problem as well, and it is well known. So I would say just wait and see what happened. Um, okay. Um, let's see. Oh, by the way, my big tablet was supposed to record the net, but it wasn't showing up any messages earlier, so I just restarted and start to record again. So the net is like kind of chopped up. But anyway, it is back to normal now. Okay, well, warm up round, last one. Team net number 2, Delta November Golf. Team net number 2, Delta November Golf.
Okay, number two, Delta November Golf. Chechen. Greeting everyone on the net, Chechen Gicheng. Yeah, I think it's happened to me like last night. There's a customer ordering from Uber, and then after that, someone pick up, and then I think they either the customer or I don't know, it's either the Uber driver is bad. So and they don't report that they're already picking up. So and then it's happened that they trying to send like a couple driver after that, right? So 3, 4 drivers. So somebody already take the food, and I called the Uber, said we got everything refunded, and then they told us to make again. And I said I deny. It probably some of the customer also is trying to cheat. They already took it, and then they cancel the order, and then they order again, right? And then they pay this one for real, something like that. So I think it's sometimes there's a customer is there's a bad customer, you know. So we just need to identify if this and then put in the notice if it's happened again. We have to report to the Uber what's going on. So yeah, and it's, for me it's cleansing on a daily basis. As a Oriental, I think that's very necessary. Uh, Trying to cleanse most of the stuff, the item is coming in, like whatever I order. Sometimes trying to move around stuff and then find if there's an old stuff or something, we just need to throw away. We just need to throw away and then cleanse the part of the house. So it's make sure everything is uh, purified. thing is because we are dealing with a lot of crap coming in and bothering our life. Can cause uh, unwanted like chi or maybe luck, right? Or destroying our health. Relationship is can be go to many road if we don't really identify or taking care, you know. So every day we have to be certain to make sure everything plans, and we also need to know how to fight it and how to kill it or how to capture it. Yeah. Back to you, Net Controller. Tingkat number 2 Delta November Go.
Okay. Yeah, as I have said, sometimes it's just a customer's issue. So if Kai can get a hold of the support, maybe they will just resolve it for you because it's very common. So no need to worry so much. Okay, now before I go back up, let's see if any newcomers want to come in. Check in. Okay, well, I'll begin my official lesson. So we have all warmed up the mouth. Now, well, let's talk about this magic concept. So when you have to execute the Jing spell with your body, right? Or like you have to, yeah, like you yourself have to like storm the hospital and blast it out, right? It's like you're taking yourself, like the God inside yourself, and then deploying the power out. But if you're at home and you have an altar, the altar is supposed to have the God inside, right? So your landlord, your upper deck God, they're supposed to be there, and they're like locally with you in the house. So if you are in the house or anything in the house goes wrong, they are supposed to deal with it, or they are supposed to deal with it when you tell them to, right? So think about it. Like if there's a ye crap, okay, like a mouse came into a rat, right? Came into your house. Well, by default, they're supposed to deal with it. If you have to chase after them and kill the mouse, that means that, well, number one, they are not doing their job. And number two is maybe they couldn't spot it, and that's why it came in, right? But if they can spot it, why didn't they deal with it? So if you have to do it yourself, it's kind of like you're robbing the job of the security guy. Like you're the CEO, you come in and you're like, oh, there's a bad guy. Let me deal with it. Strangle him or whatever. Right? Are you supposed to do that? No. You have an altar. You have your landlord. You have your security. So the security is supposed to deal with that. And you could just ask them to do it. If you have to go and chase that guy, it means that, well, neither. Oh, just a minute. I got a phone call. Hello? Okay, there we go. A scam call, huh? So I use my on him. Yeah, back to me, huh? So, um, if you have to do the job, it's like the CEO is actually, doing that job for the security guy. It's not good in the long run. It's supposed to be the security guy doing it. So we have to like mature, right? As you go on, you have to like kind of tell your altar to do things instead of yourself doing things at home. At first, you learn a lot of stuff that can be done with your body. Like you have to bring the god out and then clean it, or bring the god out and then seal the door, right? It's all done with your body. But how do we use the god from the altar? Well, you can tell them, right? Or you can put them, like connect them to a tool, and then you use the tool to tell them to like work on this, work on that, because you took a god out, right? The god can follow the tool. For example, a flashlight. You put a god from the altar into the flashlight. The god follows the flashlight around. You use the flashlight to flash here, flash there. You're telling that god to deal with the ye crap here and there. I opened a light for Wing, and she used it to cleanse the office and everything. It's fast. You just like flashing around. And you don't have to always like, oh, let me do the sun cue, call up the big god, small god, and like you're taking a god out from yourself again. No, right? You prepare the tool at the altar, you put a god in, right, and there you go. You keep using it. So that should be the mindset, and it makes everything much faster, much easier. Yeah. So let's pass the mic around. Let's see. Back to the top. Tier number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Yeah, I remember when I needed early, it was always something to get done. I always did it with, big God, small God, send the God around. Then as I learned more, you could use the water, you can use a fan, you can put it in the flashlight, you can put it in anything that you can use without having to utilize your own self to do it. Speaking of mice, I actually had a mouse here, and I was like, oh my God, there's a mouse in the house. I don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to do? Oh, yeah, I know what I'm going to do. So I had to call somebody to get the mouse, and the mouse I didn't even know if it was going to work. So I just, I was like, hey, to my altar, I'm like, hey, there's a mouse in this, and then I need to know who I should call. I can't expect the guy to physically go get a mouse, right? So I was like, what am I going to get this thing out of here? And the idea came, to put down this natural repellent. And I also have a service that comes in, and that gets the mouse. So like within about a day or less, actually, the thing crawled out of wherever it was at in the garage, and there it was, dried up carcass in the garage, and then it was out. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess it worked. So, at least it's not running around my house, doing whatever it's doing. And also, I think certain insects like ants, mice, flies, roaches, other stuff that shouldn't be around your house may be indicators of different types of infestations too, like bees. Bees can get in your home or apartments if you notice them, and they might be indicators of other things that might be occurring. Maybe Shadron can talk about that a little bit. If you see a lot of, like Shadron always tells us that there's no insects in his home at all. So maybe if some of us are experiencing that kind of thing, it might be an indicator of something different that's occurring in another realm. Maybe Shadron can get more detail about that. Tier number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Okay, well, yeah, no insect here for a long time. Funny enough, we had that 2 disciple that left, right? So during that period where like my house is still not fixed, I actually like had a total of 2 cockroaches, and we killed them both. Well, not sure if it's related or not, but it's just funny. Anyway, those insects that like to stay in the dark, they will be attracted more to places that has an environment that is better for them, usually. So if a place is better for us, right, the property of the chi is supposed to be not good for them. Okay, we are like kind of opposite. They're kind of like a ghost. So, um, if you have those, it's not always, but it could be telling you that your chi is kind of messed up. So yeah, it could be that. It could be just your house sucks. Like yeah, it could happen like that too because the neighborhood is dirty or whatever, and you have that's one of the reason, right? So not always, I would say. You need to look at like is it a common issue in D8 for your location, or is it like just once in a very rare time? And well, yeah, you can div about it, of course, right? So yeah, um, back to my topic about the using the god. For example, if I need to my altar's god to come out and follow me to work and then stay at my store like thing, right? To deal with ye crab. How can I do it? Well, very simple. You learned already. You write a foo. When you write the foo, you're submitting a ticket. The foo can say, put a big god and then give it a command, right? And then it will like do this job. And also, you can connect that to the altar. So it's like that god go to the store, right, to do work. And if it runs out of power, it can always go back home to tick more or request more gods over. That's why you have the footer frame, right, making that a loop, a support loop. So if anything happened, it can always go back home for reinforcement. And so writing a foo, and then you can like, for example, tape the foo there, or you can like burn the foo into a statue or whatever object and put it there, right? Like you can use the foo in many ways, but the thing is, you write a foo, and then that will allow you to call the gods up from the altar and deploy it to other places outside of home. But if they're inside your house, you can just like tell them to do stuff, right? So yeah, learning for work is very important, right? You can use the for work to utilize those powers you cultivate and then send them outside to other places to stay, to help, to cleanse or whatever. So let's move on. Tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenured number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Sir John, I have a few questions. So, what is the, and this may be a question that is very basic and I should know, but I don't know. So, what is the difference between the Jing spell and the daily rites? Because I always thought that the Jing spell was just another name for the daily rites to explain all of the different spells within the Jing, the daily rites itself, from the mouth, the heart, and so on and so on. Body, altar, golden light. I thought all of those things were the Jing spell, but from the way how you put it into a sentence, it sounds like there are main differences. So maybe you could explain that to me. And the writing of the foo, yeah, like I'm definitely appreciating the writing the foo. It's definitely something that I think you have to really put a lot of work in. Like Ding foos right now look so amazing, and I definitely gonna spend more time practicing and making more. Well, I'm really excited to do more food for when we have other upcoming ceremonies. Like Ding and I got 4, and we were pretty excited about it. So yeah, and and pertaining to cleaning now, are you saying that once we come home, we could just go to the altar, tell the god, we can use magical tools, because I usually use the fish, the water, and the yen heng, I believe it's called. Hit the fish 8 times, hit the yen heng 9 times, and tell the god clean your div, and you're good to go. Well, if the god says you're good to go, you're good to go. But apart from just using magical tools, could we just go to the altar, ring the bell, see if they're there, ask them to clean us, and div to see if they did, and if not, and if they did, just go about our business? Because I always thought that, yeah, you need to go and physically clean yourself, but the way how you explained it just now, that You don't have to be the cook, chef, bottle washer, janitor of the entire company. If you have one position, you could delegate a task. And I keep forgetting that, because it's I think what we have as a lineage is very special because we have the ability to remotely do stuff and delegate tasks to our gods and stuff. In other religions, they don't even come close. Like they still fuddling around in the dark, which is funny to me looking at it now. So yeah, back to you, Internet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay, daily right or any right. The word right, I don't think is a proper word that actually translate the word. So we call that a for. Okay, so it's like daily 日常課 or morning is 早課. Evening is 晚 and then it becomes 晚課, right? The word for, it's like how do you say it? It's like you're doing homework. Okay, so what you're doing is you take what you know and you review it to bring out some fruit, to make it like, you're deepening the understanding of it, strengthening yourself in that field. Every time you recite something again, you get a fruit, which is memory, right? It's like you watch a movie or a KJ or something. The more you do it, the more you are putting that memory into the same folder, you can say, because they're like the same thing, right? So the more you do it, the more you get it. And it's like the hot spell. If you do it one time, it's not going to like make you remember it. But when you do it like a lot of days, every day, a bunch of times, it becomes like second nature. You can say it without thinking. Same thing with the whole thing in the right. The right is about you chanting the same thing over and over again over many days, and it deepens that juice in your pre-heaven side, which is the fruit. And you're building up more essence of that inside yourself. So that's the purpose of a right, and it has the Jing spell inside. Okay, because Jing spell is so commonly used, so we put it inside the right. And just saying that the Jing spell, it would be like just a spell. Right? You can use the spell for many things. You can use it, you can practice it, right? It doesn't mean that you have to do certain action with it. Jing spell is Jing spell. Spells are not right. Spells are short commands of what the god have to do for you. So like there's a vacuum spell, a mop floor spell, clean the fridge spell. So you say the spell facing a different person, they will go do that job for you, right? So when you do Jing spell, it doesn't do anything unless you call up a god first with your heart spell. Then the god knows, okay, you want me to like clean your mouth, clean your heart, right? Then they will do it for you. So it's kind of like a short command. And why don't we just like say, oh, clean my mouth, clean my heart? Why don't we just say that? It's so simple. Because normal people don't even know what is the heart, what is the mouth, and all that stuff. They have no knowledge. And inside every spell, there's like so many knowledge, right? So maybe you take like a few months to actually get it. And if you just tell the guy, oh, clean my mouth, cleanse my heart, the guy's not going to understand what you want. Exactly. So when you give them a spell, they recite the spell. It's like, yeah, by default, all the god know what this means. So you don't need to know what it means. You just need to say the spell. It's kind of like a programming code, right? You paste, copy, and paste, and the god knows what to do, right? So that's why there's spell. Instead of like telling the god to do this, do that, you have like a shortcut. And when you say the shortcut, it execute a lot of stuff inside. Anyway, TN number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
TNet number 2, Kilo Alpha India. I think what Xuan Hong just mentioned is giving me a lot of question in my mind now at this moment when it's talking about daily right and Jing spells. But I won't start there. I'm just gonna start with what I have in my mind at this moment. Like when I came into this house, I mix up my stuff with this guy's stuff. So at some point, I decided it's kind of I don't think it was a very good idea to mix my stuff because of what I've learned. But I don't think there's anything I can do. But I keep on cleaning up this place using the spells. I mean the space cleaning spell. So come to the question I had earlier. When I'm doing the daily right, I see there's like about 6 or 7 jinx spell on the daily right, and there's also sky opening chanting, which is something that you also discover from other books as well. I want to find out, like you do find some common some of these common things in other chanting also. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but I've seen it when you are chanting other things. You do find the sky opening in the beginning of every chanting in each book. They are very similar. Just want to know, like, what makes them relate to each other? Why you discover similar things when you are opening another book and stuff? Chinet number 2, Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
Okay. There are parts in the daily right that is being used everywhere, like opening scripture, closing scripture, or even like open, close prayers, and the last part, 3 ordained 12 wishes. These are like default, kind of like a set menu. And what change is usually the scripture itself. The Jing spell is always at the beginning. And these books, when you use them like a rite, you are practicing, you are cultivating, you're power building. Okay, so nothing is being done, right? When you just chant it. But when you want to use them as a ceremony, then it will make a lot of sense, because in a ceremony, you'll want to like have first connect to the source, and then you will cleanse, and then you will build up the power, and then you will draw the power out, and then you'll deploy it somewhere, right? That book is not just for practice, right? When you learn enough, it's supposed to be a book that can become a full-blown ceremony, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do with it. Okay, so that's why it's in that order. But at this point, most of you are just beginning to do chanting. You're just practicing, learning the words, practicing, kind of building a stronger impression of things. So just focus on that for now. Okay, so when you're doing daily right, you're not getting any of the Jing spell to work. You're just practicing them. You're building up power. Okay, TN number 2, Delta November Golf.
Yeah, number two, the November Golf. Yeah, Chachuan. I think it's yeah. I'm happy. I already did like a lot of stuff, like put the gut in on the light bulb, uh, and some of the like a turtle in the front, like a turtle for the feng shui, with the biting the coin like that. Put it in the front door, right? So just put the gut there, put the gut in the light. So yeah, I think basically almost everything put the gut in, like the water sometimes. When I have a time before I drink or before I give it to my pet, uh, they're doing most of the stuff though. Or sometimes the food they just come in, cleanse and you know, doing all the things. And I think the one I need to do more, maybe doing more of the things, the daily right. Keep doing it. Uh, I doing like most of the time opening the altar and then put the faji, put the gut in, and after that doing the strawberry and download the using the 7 star pre-heaven and post-heaven. Yeah, it's that kind of things. It's like once a day. Not the berry and the pre-heaven is only once at the morning, but most of the like put the faji and all the 45 the faji, the sun moon like that, right? All the that kind of things already like twice a day. Put it in the altar and then like before I sleep, I ask my landlord work with the ground troop and the local everything to guard the house, give a protection. I think because I believe that we are the marshal, all right? So we command the God around us to work for us, for our benefit. Yeah. And I think it's the most important thing is not only knowing how to write the nice food. I think the power in it, in the food arm and all the how to do all the process to put the gut in, check the food and all the wall. I think it's beneficial. So I think I might gonna do like what is the good for the restaurant if like wanna protect and draw the blessing like for the customer like that, attract the customer. So what is the good food for that? If is that okay if I can be write down and then can be burn it on the front of the restaurant? Back to you, net control. Unit number 2, Delta November Golf.
Okay, for your restaurant, um, one of the good idea is to have a kitchen god placed inside the kitchen, and you can create that god from your home altar. It's like the kitchen god is supposed to be for your house kitchen where your home is, but you can also clone one in like with a and then place it inside the store. So that way you can tell the god what to do. That can be done. It can be done with you can actually like I'm not sure if you can or cannot, but you can also set up a small altar inside the kitchen like that. And so the kitchen god kind of like oversees everything and you can set command into it. So, for example, like every dish that goes out here, do this. Everything that goes out here, do this, right? Like you set up all the rules and the command what to do, and it's automatic. You don't even need to think about it. So that's something that you can do. Yeah. Um, the Faji, like Sun Moon Faji, 4V5H, those things, they are always in a full dam too, right? So I would say it's a very good idea to practice them like you did. Lei practiced a lot before because he was using it all the time. And now, because he knows it so well, it's memorized, then he can actually like flash it. The Fudam is like that too. It's like you know how to write these Faji, and eventually it's like your hand basically just vibrates on top of the Fudam, and it's like all the words are in. You don't need to like draw it big and wide and slow, right? Everything gets faster when you memorize them, but it takes time. So I would say like start with Sun Moon, Daigat, 4V5H, and then work on the Three Mountain, Six Dam, and eventually, you'll get it in your heart. So it's a long journey, something that you will build up over time, right? And because you have those memorized, it becomes like a second nature, like your heart spell. So when you want to use it, the magic is very fast because you have that stuff inside you. If you don't have, then you need to slowly draw it out. So what you know is what the God know, right? So if that Fati in your head is very blurry, then the God is also blurry, right? So you need to write it out. But if you know it so clearly, you write it, God will know. Like it will just know what you want. Anyway, we'll go back to the top. Keynet number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Tinga number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. I believe that one time Shaitan asked us, what's the difference between spells, rites, scriptures, and prayers? All of those are different. Some of them are used to excite the god, get the god hyped, and get going. And they're usually pretty long. And others are short and are to execute things. So maybe we can just define that and see help make that a little clearer for people who don't know. A spell is not a rite. Scripture is not a prayer, but they do different things, and knowing what they do might help to solidify it in people's minds too. Tinga number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Well, yeah, you just said it. A spell, it's a command, short command to do stuff, right? So it's like you have a vacuum the floor spell. You tell the god to vacuum the floor. You say that. But how to do the job, that's something that is already programmed into the code. So you don't need to know how. You just tell them to do this. So yeah, prayers like the one we do on Lunar First are praising the God. You're investing your faith into the God. You learn how to chant, and you put your heart into it, and you put your time into it. And then on the day you chant, you're delivering all that to the God. It's a way to deliver your stuff, your heart to the God. And because of that, right, you become, it's kind of like stock, right? You have a big share inside that because you input a lot. So yeah, when you ask God for help again, God will want to help you more because you have invested. So it's a way to invest. It's not a way to ask for help. You're purely giving with a prayer. So I'll stop here, or else I will be saying too much. So Tina number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Yes, Adrian. I have so much more questions, but I know we're pressed for time. So I guess the most pressing question I have is, So let's say we come home from a long day and we want to clean ourselves. One, we could use these magical tools. That is definitely an option. But if we don't want to do it, could we just go in front of the altar, ring the bell, and ask the God to clean us, Dev, and just go from there? Back to you, and wishing everybody a so I'm giving everybody 73.
Well, it depends on what the thing is. Your word clean ourselves. Like, what is actually the problem? Right? If you just have like some chi that is bad, yeah, sure. But if you have like a whole full on magic attack, well, you can't, right? Like, it depends on the severity what you're dealing with. Jing spell can help you to a certain level. But if the thing is too much and it's like something very different, then you will need to deal with it differently. It's not always like just some bad chi or whatever, right? Sometimes there are like, let's say a yiga tagging you, something like that, that you cannot really just do a quick thing to fix it. So it really depends what that is, right? But yeah, you can always try and then ask the God if they can do it. If they cannot, or if they fail to, then you will always have to go up a step and see what to do, right? We always say in magic, you start small and then you escalate, right? So you never like just first time, oh, we have a problem. Let me do a whole ceremony 1 hour on that thing. No way, right? So you do something quick and then see how it goes, right? If the thing is busted, good, we're done. If it's not, well, we'll go up one level, do more things, and eventually you'll see it, being fixed. So based on experience, right, I will tell you that a lot of the times, a lot of daily stuff can be fixed very quickly by the altar gods. So always do that first. And if anything is not fixed, then you will see what is left, what is the problem, right? So I can't say like, yeah, you can ask the God to do it and then it will always work, because sometimes your God cannot deal with those problems. They also need help. Yeah, and also remember that on the lunar 15th, you guys learned that ceremony, right? That ceremony can also be used, and when you do it more, it becomes very fast because it's not that hard. It's just that when you're doing it with me the first time, it becomes very slow. Everyone is kind of like, oh, let me see if I don't know if it's so good or not, right? But when you do it, when you have learned it, it is a very quick ceremony. It can be done in like 1-2 minutes. Right? So it doesn't need to be that hard. It can be very fast once you learn it. So there are a lot of things in there, like for example, how to use the fan with the way you swing it, right? What it means this way, what it means that way, and how to use that fan to lead the troops to do different things. Those things, when you learn it, you understand it, then you can apply it. You don't need to do the full on menu like the whole thing, but you can pick one part of it and use it, and it will work. So yeah, you need to go back and see that video maybe. Okay, so let's move on to tier number 2.
Tenet number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Um, you just mentioned now the most important part, whereby that the court knows what you know. Because if I can recall, in the beginning when I used to do spell to execute, actually to execute the body cleansing spell. At some point, when I listen to the video, I will always skip the part where I must actually read the body cleansing spell, and just try to imagine it. Then I realized that I don't know the spell by heart. So I decided to open it and recite it every time when I'm doing execution. So now I realize that it's very important to know the spell actually by head before you actually think assume that you know it. And the other part you did mention is like the what is that, the tingling when I'm doing the cleansing space cleansing spell and write the tingling, and I realize that tingling I'm still learning it. I'm still learning that part. I'm not even perfect, and I'm not even closer to perfect. It's still complicated, but I'm learning it. So in other words, like the planners that you have just mentioned, it's another thing that I need to practice it more and then know it correctly to make the code to understand it. Team number 2, Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
Okay. Well, everything require practice, right? You want to know how to cook, then you need to practice cooking. You want to learn math, then you need to practice the math, right? So same thing with magic. If you don't spend time practicing what you learn, like the spells and symbols, then how can you use it for real? But I would say for most people, like newbie especially, I would tell them like you can flash the spell, right? And so if you need the Ching body spell, Ching Tinte spell, you can just think of the spell and then you stomp your foot already. You don't have the spell in your mind yet, right? But because you are like I told you to do that, so when you need it and you do it this way, it will still work. Your gut will still know because it's supported by me. When you're a newbie, a lot of your magic is actually supported by me. It's not running purely on your power. So yeah, that is something important to note, right? When the disciple grow up, they become senior, then eventually that support is going to be the other way. It's like instead of having 70% of my support power, now it's like 30%. So it's mostly on you. So when you get matured, it will turn into that. And it's not like it's a bad thing, it's actually a good thing because that way you also gain more as you do magic, right? Because if your power is all supported by me, like you only output 30% of your power, then you don't really get much, as in like the fruit or the gain or the development, right? All that stuff. But when you have to output more, the gain is more as well. So you'll be actually growing faster. Okay, so that's different phases of learning magic. Okay, we're on to the last one. Tina number 2, Delta November Golf.
Yeah, number two, Delta November Golf. Yeah, Jajan. I'm just curious about the Fu barrier. The one, I think there's a one in the last Fu. There's a one of the Fu. There's a full of like a four like Fu barrier, like a mountain, copper, water, and steel. This barrier can protecting us, right? It's like a for protection like that. Can we also using it like to attacking people like put more weight like I think I heard last time a couple days ago. I think you mentioned like a rock something like you can make people like put the weight on them like so their life is more hard, more weight on them like like a tough like that. So I didn't know if that possible. So just ask you, is that the one you're talking about? Like last time, using this full barrier. Yeah, back to you, net contract. Unit number 2, the alternative.
I think you're talking about the barrier in the Fu Dam, right? So, um, the command of that barrier is like not really a good word. It's actually like filter. It's like it's like this. Like you are the one, the person, and I put like whatever filter over you. So whatever you see out of that filter has to go through my filter. Like if I put a yellow filter, right, anything you see becomes yellow, right? So these barriers or filters are like that. Anything I put the filter over, it's like a coat. It goes on top of that. It empowers, it blocks, it can do anything. So the mountain barrier, right? Sangak is to work on the mountain, which is your ghost altar level. Okay, the ghost altar is at the ground level, right? That's the mountain. Water barrier works on the local energy body, which is the water zone here. There's the copper. Copper is related to the heart, the D5 yellow copper, and there's the steel or metal, whatever that is, Tika, right? It's the white, which is the top part of the energy body. Okay, and then you have the stone sekap, which is the bottom section of the energy body. So you're telling the god to go to different places in the system and then just coat over it. Whatever you want that god to do is another story. So the Fudam, later when you learn more into the Fu, you'll know, okay? But it's not just something you'll be using it separately like that. Anyway, the time is now 2:05 p.m. We'll internet here. 73 to all, and we'll see you back online or on NetB. This is TNet number 9. Yankee Uniform Echo is clear. Clear!